Most dating mistakes do not look like mistakes while you are making them. They look like being understanding, giving someone a chance, staying open-minded, not wanting to seem needy, being patient with mixed signals. That is exactly why intelligent, self-aware women can repeat the same dating patterns for years without realizing what is costing them. Good dating advice for women should expose those invisible patterns before they cost you months or years. Here are 7 dating mistakes women make without realizing it. And the last one is the mistake that can keep an almost relationship alive long after the evidence is already clear. Mistake 1: you evaluate words before patterns. Words are emotionally powerful because they arrive faster than evidence. I have never felt this way before. I can see a future with you. I am just scared because I like you so much. I am not talking to anyone else. I want something serious. Those statements may be completely sincere, but sincerity in a moment is not the same as reliability over time. Dating advice for women becomes much safer when you learn to ask one simple question. What pattern does this sentence live inside? If someone says they care, do they show curiosity about your life? If they say they want commitment, do their choices move toward commitment? If they say they are busy, do they still create a realistic way to stay connected? If they apologize, does the behavior change? Words tell you what someone feels, hopes, believes, or wants you to believe. Patterns tell you what the relationship can actually hold. Mistake 2: you turn dating into an audition. You start asking, how do I make him like me? What should I wear? Should I text now? Am I too much? Am I not feminine enough? Should I be more mysterious? And without noticing it, you move from evaluating the relationship to performing for approval. But a date is not a job interview where only one person is hiring. You are gathering information too. Do I like how I feel around this person? Do I respect how he treats people? Does he listen? Does he handle small frustration well? Can he be curious without making everything sexual? Do his values fit my actual life? The moment your entire attention becomes, am I being chosen, you lose access to the more important question. Would choosing him be good for me? Mistake 3: you overfunction when the connection becomes uncertain. He becomes quieter, so you become warmer. He stops planning, so you make the plans. He gives less, so you explain more. He becomes vague, so you become more emotionally intelligent for both people. This is one of the most exhausting dating mistakes because it can temporarily keep a weak connection alive, but it also hides useful information. If you stop carrying the momentum, what happens? Does the other person step forward? Does the relationship have its own reciprocal energy? Or does everything collapse the moment you stop managing it? You do not have to play games or withdraw affection to test someone. Just stop doing two people's share of the relationship. Then observe. Mistake 4: you confuse activation with compatibility. This one is subtle. A person is hard to read. You do not know where you stand. Sometimes they are intensely close. Then they become distant. You start thinking about them constantly. The connection feels powerful because your attention is always engaged. But constant mental occupation is not necessarily love. Sometimes it is uncertainty. When rewards are unpredictable, the mind can become more focused on obtaining the next one. That does not mean every exciting relationship is unhealthy. It means intensity deserves investigation. Ask yourself, is this connection exciting because we are deeply compatible, or because I never feel secure enough to stop monitoring it? Healthy attraction can still be thrilling. But over time, intimacy should produce more information, not endless confusion. Mistake 5: you negotiate against your own boundaries. You know something bothers you, but before saying it, you start arguing with yourself. Maybe I am overreacting. Maybe this is normal now. Maybe I should be more relaxed. Maybe asking for clarity is pressure. Maybe wanting consistency is too much. There is a difference between examining your expectations and abandoning them before anyone else even responds. A boundary does not mean the other person must agree. It means you are willing to be honest about what works for you. The wrong person may call a reasonable boundary inconvenient. That is useful information. If being easy to date requires becoming difficult to recognize, the price is too high. If this video is describing a pattern you have lived, subscribe, and tell me which one is harder for you, asking directly for what you need or walking away when the answer is not what you hoped for. Mistake 6: you date potential as if it were a current trait. You see his intelligence, his ambition, his capacity for tenderness, the way he talks about the man he wants to become, and your mind builds a relationship with the finished version. But potential has no timeline. A person can be capable of emotional maturity and still not practice it, capable of commitment and still avoid it. capable of communication and still disappear during conflict, capable of changing and still have no intention of changing now, you should absolutely notice potential. Just do not give potential the same weight as demonstrated behavior. Date the person who exists in front of you, not the person your hope can assemble from his best moments. Mistake 7. You stay in ambiguity because ambiguity still contains hope. This is the one that can steal the most time. You are not exactly together, but you are not exactly apart. There is affection, history, chemistry, late-night conversations, maybe sex, maybe future talk. But whenever you ask what is happening, the answer becomes foggy. Let us not label it. I am not ready right now. Why ruin something good? I care about you, I just do not know what I want. Sometimes uncertainty is legitimate. People need time. Relationships develop at different speeds, but ambiguity becomes a problem when it stops being a phase and becomes the structure. At some point, you need to ask whether the relationship is becoming clearer, not perfect. Clearer. Are intentions becoming easier to understand? Is effort becoming more mutual? Are plans becoming more real? Are you moving toward something? Or are you repeating the same emotional week with different dates on the calendar? The point of dating advice is not to eliminate uncertainty. That is impossible. The point is to stop treating uncertainty as a relationship plan. You do not need to become colder. You do not need to stop trusting. You do not need to become impossible to impress. You need a better filter. Listen to words, then check patterns. Enjoy chemistry, then check compatibility. Offer effort, then check reciprocity. See potential, then return to current behavior. Allow uncertainty, then look for movement. And most importantly, remember that dating is not only about whether someone wants access to you. It is about whether the connection can become a place where both people are known, respected, and increasingly clear about what they are building. The goal is not to win the person. The goal is to stop losing yourself while trying to figure out whether they will stay.